right now.
Do the Blue Jays have more magic in them?
They've got an extremely talented team over there, but so do we.
In Cleveland, they've been waiting for this since 2007. A return to the American League Championship Series. And tonight, the Indians play host to the Toronto Blue Jays, who make a return trip to the American League Championship Series, having their season end a year ago at the hands of the Kansas City Royals. It's Game 1 from Progressive Field here in Cleveland. Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson along with Ron Darling. You're going to hear from Cal Ripken Jr. in just a second. So, Ronnie, look, American League Division Series, the underdogs in those two series may not have been a big margin, but Toronto was an underdog against Texas, and the Indians were an underdog with a banged-up pitching staff against the Red Sox. So all they did was both of them swept to get here. Let's start with Cleveland.
Well, what I love about Cleveland is this sets up real nicely for them. They have the home field advantage. They have their #1 pitcher, Corey Kluber, pitching tonight. They also have a well-rested, locked-down kind of bullpen, maybe one of the best in all of baseball. But when you think about the Indians, I think of their toughness. They're a team that had a lot of injuries, but with great years from Jose Ramirez and Mike Napoli at first base, the corner infielders, they scored the second most runs in the American League. They are a tough team.
The Toronto Blue Jays had the lead in the American League East when September began. They lost that lead, almost missed out on the playoffs, but they did start playing well and catch fire at just the right time. For a take on Toronto, let's go to the Iron Man, who is again field level tonight.
Yeah, you know, every baseball team has their personality, and the Toronto Blue Jays know who they are. John Gibbons probably summed it up best in our afternoon meeting when he said, we're not really a running team. We like to swing for the fences, and we like to hit the ball far. We like to try to hit the ball even farther than that. So you get the idea, but this sort of offense can be feast or famine. In September, they couldn't have been any colder. They scored the fewest runs in all of Major League in September, but once the calendar turned to October and the playoffs started, they found it again. So they're swinging the bats really well. They're hitting their home runs.
All right, thank you very much, Cal. Look, it's all about how you play the game in October. Cleveland's unbeaten. Toronto unbeaten this month. Something tells me that's going to change tonight. Cannot wait to get it going here. Game 1 of the ALCS on TBS right after this.
This 2016 ALCS telecast on TBS is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ. By T-Mobile One, welcome to Unlimited Baseball. By Max Steel, now playing. And by Bank of America.
Got to the ballpark this afternoon and discovered some breaking news. And to deliver that, let's go down to Sam Ryan.
Yeah, Ernie, Terry Francona flip-flopping his Game 3 and Game 2 starters in this series. Trevor Bauer was supposed to go Game 2. Josh Tomlin was supposed to go Game 3 on Monday. But because of an accident with a drone this morning, Bauer has to be pushed back until Monday. He cut his finger on a drone. This was his pinky, the top of the pinky. It's bandaged up. He needed 10 stitches this morning. He saw a hand specialist. Dr. Graham looked at it this morning. He feels he should be good to go by Monday. You saw the bandage there. He was able to grip the ball today. He was able to throw the ball, according to his manager, Terry Francona. But Terry did say they wanted to give him another day because it is a fresh wound, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. It was some drone maintenance that Bauer was doing when he clipped the finger. And so Game 3 rather than Game 2. Here's the batting order for the Toronto Blue Jays here for Game 1. Ezekiel Carrera leads it off. Then it's Josh Donaldson, Edwin Encarnacion, and Jose Bautista, who together combined for 101 home runs. Russell Martin in the 5-hole, Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop, Michael Saunders, the DH. Then it's Kevin Pillar and Devin Travis, who's been battling a sore right knee, hitting ninth.
Oh, Corey Kluber, the Cy Young Award winner a couple of seasons ago, 18 wins again this year. I can't mention Kluber without mentioning his battery mate, Roberto Perez. Last 15 starts with Perez, he was 10-1 and 2.34 ERA, and that includes his 7 shutout innings against the Red Sox.
That came in Game 2 of the ALDS, a 3-game sweep of Boston by the Cleveland Indians. How about the defense?
We see Coco Crisp, the veteran in left field, the rookie in center field, Naquin Chisenhall. Then Ramirez, Lindor's one of the best at his position, Kipnis and Napoli on the right side, and Roberto Perez, who we just mentioned, doing the catching.
There's Lindor, not only some of the best leather in the league, but you rarely see him without that smile. Gets great joy out of this game, and he's just a kid. Well, here's the Swiss Army knife of the Toronto Blue Jays batting order. Ezekiel Carrera, who's going to lead it off. He will lay down a bunt. He will knock in a run. Every now and then he might take you deep, but he can handle the bat. Umpiring crew tonight, Laz Diaz behind the plate, Jim Wolf at first, Brian Gorman, the crew chief, at second, Jim Reynolds at third, and down the lines, Mike Everett and Jeff Nelson. Mark Wegner is handling the replay duties. Ready to go. Been waiting all day for this. Let's get it going. And Carrera takes a strike. Ramirez in on the grass at third. Carrera handles the bat well. Had been hitting ninth, moved to the leadoff spot as he takes another strike when Devin Travis, with that balky right knee, it put him down in the 9-hole.
Just in case it acts up during the game and they have to replace him. So Carrera leads off.
Kluber into the line. Here it comes. And on 3 pitches, there is out number 1.
Well, against the Boston Red Sox in the ALDS, Boston was 0 for 11 with 2 strikes against Kluber. Why? He's got one of the best wipeout sliders in all of baseball. Once he gets ahead of you, he puts you away.
7+ innings in Game 2 against the Red Sox. Allowed 3 hits, struck out 7, walked 3, threw 104 pitches, and picked up the win. Here's Josh Donaldson. Takes low and away, 1-0.
You know, as an offense, you want to go up and you don't want to be too aggressive too early. But with a pitcher again like Kluber, you can't afford to fall behind either, because you won't get anything to hit and it'll just wipe you out. So you got to stay aggressive and look for a pitch out over the plate early in the count.
Well, Toronto's done a good job of that this year, and only 10 innings pitched against Toronto this year. Kluber had to throw 208 pitches, so they made him work.
Fouled straight back right at us.
Donaldson's got some pretty good numbers against him, 6 for 16 with a jack, so he sees him pretty well.
Last year's American League Most Valuable Player, who this year hit .284 with 37 homers and knocked in 99 runs. Kluber, 30 years old, into the line. Here it comes. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, I can't help but think a lot of people think big league hitters spoil those pitches on purpose. I couldn't do it. You're just trying to battle him. But I think some hitters, and maybe Josh is one that can.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Donaldson rifled it out of the reach of Jason Kipnis at second, and Toronto's got a runner on with 1 out.
Yeah, he spoiled and got himself another pitch. This ball runs back and gets a little too much of the plate. Try to throw on the outside corner, and Donaldson hits it right back where it came from.
What a postseason Donaldson's having so far.
How does 10 for 19 grab you? He's one of the few who have not homered in the postseason for Toronto.
I'm not sure, Ernie, but that's over a 500 batting average, isn't it?
Yes. Man, you are on your game tonight. Encarnacion steps in. He's got 3 of those home runs for the Blue Jays this postseason, including the dramatic 3-run shot in the wild card game that knocked out Baltimore.
Interesting first pitch there from Kluber, up and in against Encarnacion. Let him know that he's going to try to own that outside corner of the plate. Back in there.
Towering foul ball. 1-1.
Dangerous place to go. The 3 home runs that Encarnacion has hit in the postseason have been down and in. So if you go in, it better be upstairs.
Toronto has hit 10 home runs in this postseason. 8 of those came in the sweep of the Texas Rangers. Kluber to the plate. Breaking pitch stayed upstairs. 2-1.
So, Ronnie, I realized that when you said it's a dangerous place to be, I realized I was in danger too.
That's right.
He comes in. I got a glove over here now just for protection. Got it on for this hitter.
Those are those 3 home runs down and in for Encarnacion.
Donaldson lead at first. On the ground, and that is foul to third. Iron Man, okay. Whose glove is that?
I can't tell you. It's a top secret.
All right.
I don't think he knows I have it. I did have an instinct to where the ball was going to be hit, and I see that they're pounding him in. There's a good chance he can pull a ball over here.
I just want to see you make a play at some point in this series. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Donaldson the runner at first. And Kluber to the plate. Well hit to right field. That is going to be off the wall. Chisenhall is going to have to chase it down. Donaldson is going to be held up at third. They're at second and third with 1 out.
Boy, interesting choices on both those pitches, Cal. Thought he would go with breaking pitch, stayed with the fastball.
Yeah, he got it out over the plate again. This was an absolute missile to right center field. And the ball hit the bottom of the wall and kind of stuck, which I thought would give Josh Donaldson a chance to score the run. But they recovered really quickly, got the ball in, and forced him to stop at third.
Yeah, Chisenhall was all set to play the carom, positioned himself that way, and the ball just hit there like a shot put. Here's Bautista. 2 runners in scoring position, and the Blue Jays have been lethal in this postseason with runners in scoring position. Bautista takes a strike.
Here's what we were talking about right here. The ball comes towards the wall and just hits the base. It kind of pinches itself and stays back towards the wall. Chisenthal reacted very quickly to it and got it in.
Remember, Donaldson's been battling a bad hip the entire second half.
Bautista waves at it, and it's 0-2. In the series against Texas, the Blue Jays hit .471 with runners in scoring position. They're .478 in this postseason, and an early opportunity here in Cleveland. Breaking ball got him, 2 down.
Well, this breaking ball is as good as any right-handers in all of baseball. Starts on the outside corner, and the bottom just drops out of it. I was bragging about Kluber that he was so good with 2 strikes, eliminating the Red Sox hitters. But now the Blue Jays have gotten 2 hit strikes, but he got Bautista there.
Cal, I don't know about you, but you know, we saw game 2. We saw how dominant Kluber was. I'd say that the 2 balls hit this inning were as hard as anything we saw the Red Sox hit off Kluber the other day.
Yeah, we didn't see balls hit hard at all. And the 2 balls up the middle, and especially in Encarnacion's ball to right center field, was an absolute rocket.
Here's Russell Martin. Martin is only 2 for 10 in his career against Kluber. Both have been home runs. In fact, 2 of his last 7 off Kluber have left the park. The Cleveland ace trying to work out of some first inning trouble, and that's upstairs. This was the 3rd of July in Toronto as Martin went deep. Played an interesting season series this year, these 2 teams. Had a 19-inning game. There was a 17-1 Toronto win at one point. The veteran catcher takes a strike. It's 1-2.
Every pitcher is only as effective as their fastball command. Kluber had it against the Red Sox, and he had it on that pitch to Martin. Interesting, some indecision there between Kluber and Perez. He's going to go out and talk about it.
Let's see if they go back and do just a verbal sign. Don't give a sign now. Always bothered me, you know, at shortstop. I wanted to know what the pitch was. And sometimes they would go out and get a little paranoid and say, okay, no sign here. We're going to throw this pitch. And then I wouldn't know what the pitch was. Exactly what they did.
The 1-2 just did stay alive, and we'll do it again. Martin, born in Ontario, childhood in Montreal, went to Chipola College with a guy who's a current teammate, Jose Bautista. He bats with runners leading from 2nd and 3rd and 2 out here in the 1st. Dribbler up toward first. Easy play for Napoli. Toronto threatens, but the Blue Jays do not score in the 1st. Back here in Cleveland, batting order for the Indians. Carlos Santana, the DH, leads it off, and it's Jason Kipnis. Lindor in the 3-hole. Mike Napoli hits cleanup, then Jose Ramirez, the third baseman. Lonnie Chisenhall's the right fielder. Coco Crisp hits 7th. Tyler Naquin, the rookie, hitting 8th, and Roberto Perez, the catcher, batting 9th.
Well, starting pitcher Marco Estrada was asked before this start about starting in the postseason. He said it's like any other start except the lineups are a lot better. But he's been great in the post. When he starts a game in the postseason, he's 3-1, ERA under 2, 21 strikeouts, only 1 walk.
Carlos Santana steps in, switch hitter, takes down low 1-0. Well, Estrada got the start in Game 1 of the ALDS. The day when the Blue Jays went and punched the Texas Rangers right in the kisser, 10-1 in the opener in Arlington. Set the tone for that series. Lays down a bunt with the shift on. And for all you fans who have said, why doesn't somebody lay down a bunt when they have that shift on? There you go from Carlos Santana. Leadoff man is on.
Hey, Cal, Donaldson just moved right before that pitch to shortstop.
Yeah, well, you would do that on a 2-0 count, and you wouldn't expect it. And he's not your prototypical leadoff hitter that you expect this from. He's got a 2-0 count. He gets the ball in the ballpark. So in some ways, I think they'd rather have him push the ball down there than swing the bat on the 2-0 count.
Here's Jason Kipnis. Hit .364 in the Boston series, including a home run, and he takes a strike 0-1.
From Estrada, you're going to see a steady assortment of changeups. That is his best pitch. When he gets in trouble, that's where he's going. Good fastball command, a little cutter, great changeup, occasional curveball.
The 0-1 to second. Could be 2. There's 1. Tulowitzki with the turn. Double play.
Real interesting turn by Troy Tulowitzki right here. This ball was a little bit too far out. He decided instead of trying to go back against his body, he just kept his body moving in that way, did a little pirouette, and got a lot on the throw.
Remember, we saw that last year, a pirouette by a Mets shortstop. Ruben Tejada Utley was on him, and it caused a broken leg. Santana did not get close enough to interfere with Tulowitzki.
2 down now for Francisco Lindor, the shortstop.
In that play that you were just talking about, one was a routine double play, which is this one was, and one was not a double play ball.
Lindor, just 22 years old. He was born in Puerto Rico, moved to the States, played his high school ball in Florida. Very tight family ties. In fact, mom lives in town during the season, does a lot of cooking for him. Home cooking didn't work here. Lindor bounces out to end the first. Game 1, ALCS on TBS. Let's take a look at the art of performance presented by Jaguar. How about Game 5 last night in Washington in the Dodger-Nats series, and Clayton Kershaw. No, he's not going to pitch. No, we won't see him. Got the last 2 outs for his first big league save, and it put the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series against the Chicago Cubs. Kershaw had 3 shutouts on the season. Or 3 shutouts. And that led baseball. Johnny Cueto had 2. Right on the mound tonight, Corey Kluber led the American League with a couple. Troy Tulowitzki is at the plate using the bat of a former Colorado teammate. Well hit, but foul. Nolan Arenado's stick he's using there, Cal.
Yeah, sometimes you pick up somebody else's bat and it works a little better. And then it becomes psychological.
Why wouldn't you use it? Arenado's led the National League in RBIs the last 2 years.
No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch in the dirt.
Kluber has battled a little bit of a leg injury. He's tried to use a sleeve on it. That was too restrictive. But these days off have helped.
Grounded towards short. 1 down. Well, the designated hitter Michael Saunders steps in. He's 3 for 8 in his career against Kluber, and fouls that off at the plate. 0-1.
It's always interesting when you see from the ALDS to the ALCS how the rosters can sometimes change because of the opponent you're going to play or injuries you might have on your team. But Saunders has done much of the DHing against right-handed pitching.
The moves that John Gibbons did make from the ALDS to the ALCS put Ryan Goins, reserve infielder, Dalton Pompey, who's a threat with his speed. Justin Smoke did not make this roster, and neither did Scott Feldman. There's a 2-strike base hit to right.
So all 3 hits that Kluber has given up now in the first couple of innings here all have come with 2 strikes.
Well, that was a breaking ball, and it just kind of hung up in the strike zone. It's for a left-hander, it's coming into him, and it's not as a wipeout pitch as against the right-hander, but he just left that up with the plate a little bit too much.
So 3 hits given up in an inning and a third by Corey Kluber. And here's Kevin Pillar, the center fielder.
That's the first cutter that we've seen from Kluber so far.
So Toronto has already matched the number of hits Boston managed off Kluber when he won Game 2 of the ALDS. Nibbled at the corner and missed. 2-0.
Against Boston, he had real good command of that part of the plate, where into a lefty and away to a righty. He'll start the ball a little off the plate and bring it back to that outside corner.
Saunders the runner at first after a 1-out single. Pilar waiting on a 3-0, and that's over 3-1. Pilar hit .266 this year, but was held to 2 for 16 so far in the postseason. Led the Blue Jays in hitting with runners in scoring position this year. Here's the pitch, and that missed, and they're at first and second with one out.
On the wild card win for the Toronto Blue Jays against the Baltimore Orioles, they got a lot of production from their 7th, 8th, and 9th place hitters. That game, it was Saunders, Pilar, and Carrera. It's Travis in the 9-hole today.
Travis started the wild card game, started game 1 of the ALDS against Texas, and then woke up before game 2 with extreme pain from a bone bruise in his right knee and didn't play in games 2 and 3. He was the only Blue Jay to hit 300 this year, right on the button. One ball, no strikes. Kluber to the plate. There's a strike, count even. Second straight inning that Toronto has put 2 runners on. In the first, they were at second and third, but Kluber pitched out of it.
I wouldn't anticipate any movement, any running, any hit and run right here. They're taking their normal leads. Travis is just going to try to drive him in.
Breaking pitch pretty filthy, isn't it, Cal?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. That's a bigger breaking ball. 82, 83 miles an hour. Has a lot of break and some downward late break.
Saunders and Pilar, the base runners. And Travis steps out.
Travis has only grounded into 6 double plays this season, but you were saying because of the bone bruise in his knee, not moving as well.
On the ground to short, Lindor, Kipnis, Napoli, double play. Six, 4, 3, end of threat. Follow Bleacher Report on Instagram and get the coolest, grooviest, best sports content before anybody else. Join millions of others and follow Bleacher Report on Instagram right now. Mike Napoli swings at the first offering from Marco Estrada here in the bottom half of the second. 0-1. Talked about Estrada and that great changeup he has. He's not afraid to throw it. I mean, there are some pitchers, Ronnie, I guess as you go back down through the years, who would say don't overuse it, really want to hold on to it and use it strategically. He'll throw it a third of the time.
He will, and there it is right there at 76 miles an hour. In his start against the Texas Rangers, they were 0 for 13 against that changeup. 0 for 13.
It seems like he wanted to make a statement with his fastball here early in the game. Get him thinking fastball and then drop the changeup on him.
There it was again, back to back.
When you ask hitters about facing Estrada's changeup, they say it's unlike any others. Usually you can see a little side spin, a little sink spin. His just has reverse spin, or seems like it does.
The 2-2 over to first, and Encarnacion takes it himself, one down.
In this double play to end the last inning, Lindor goes to his right, which means the runner is going to be a little further down the line, so he needs to throw it to the back corner of the bag. He's stable, got his knee down, makes a perfect back corner of the bag throw, which then makes that easy for Kipnis to turn the double play. Nice going.
In a season for the Indians in which they got vital contributions from a lot of guys in the order, Jose Ramirez stands out. When Michael Brantley was held to just a handful of games, really, he picked up the offensive slack and wound up hitting .312, which was 7th in the American League. Hit .500 in the ALDS as that ball goes to the back of the screen.
Versatile enough to play in the outfield, also at third base. Really a utility player before this year.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Estrada is interesting to watch. He works very quickly, but his motion is very slow, very deliberate.
To second and right at Travis. 2 up and 2 down here in the second.
So if I'm scouting Estrada in the dugout, I'm seeing a lot of fastballs, a lot of takes on the plate, almost to give you a false sense of feeling that you're going to get a fastball. And that might be his strategy first time through the lineup, just to give the impression that he's going to use the fastball a little bit more. Be interesting to see when he gets to the second time around, because he's not throwing a changeup a third of the time now.
Here's Lonnie Chisenhall. That is a foul ball. Just missed the chalk and left. Last time Chisenhall played in this ballpark, game 2 of the ALDS, he hit a 3-run homer, his first home run off a lefty this season, and it hit off the plexiglass right in front of the camera next to the foul pole in right field. 3-run homer that electrified this place. Grounded up the middle, base hit.
Yeah, it's another one of those sinkers with fastballs that he stays on and bounces it hard up the middle. Just happened to go in the right place for a hit.
Interesting the way that second baseman Devin Travis kind of pulled up on that baseball.
Here's Coco Crisp. Huge 2-run homer at Fenway in game 3. To right field, right at Bautista. We head to the third. No score. Live every postseason moment with MLB.com. At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get it all. You get live radio feeds, you got video highlights, you got pitch tracking, StatCast. How much more could you want? Download At Bat today. We head to the third. Top of the order for Toronto. Blue Jays have had 2 runners on in each of the first 2 innings, but have not scored. Ezequiel Carrera leads it off.
Good chance he's going to be swinging early. He felt like he didn't get his swings in his first at bat. He was ready to swing. Took 2 pitches and struck out.
See Jose Ramirez in at third. Ball and a strike.
That's that smaller little cutter that Kluber will use against the left-handed hitter to get back in the count. Did you see Laz Diaz with his hand? He told Carrera that ball came back over the plate. So the cutter before, and then this fastball two-seamer comes back over the plate.
Lays down a 2-strike bunt. Kluber off the mound, guns him down.
Kluber looks like an infielder right here. A surprise bunt with 2 strikes. He's got to keep that fair, or it's going to be an out. Goes over, bare hands it, and gets rid of it extremely quick. Nice play.
I mentioned earlier that he's had the quad problem, so making those athletic plays a little tougher for Kluber, but he looked perfect on that play. What a surprise bunt from Carrera.
Here's Josh Donaldson. singled his first time, moved to third on Encarnacion's double. But then the Blue Jays couldn't budge him. Way out in front, 0-1.
Barehanded, had that right foot set. And we know about his arm, able to get it there in time.
Popped him up. Lindor wants it. 2-0.
So we've had the 2 leadoff hitters for each team. 1 bunt against the shift and 1 bunt with 2 strikes.
Well, Carrera, you could come in knowing that he's going to square or bunt, especially with a guy on third. They've done that successfully, but the defense, you got to know who will try to get on with a bunt. And every game that we've seen, he's actually squared around and attempted it at least once.
Let me go ahead and tell you, this guy will not be laying it down. Encarnacion takes a strike on the corner, 0-1.
Now the cat and mouse game, you know, he tried to use fastballs inside. He beat him on a fastball to stay over the plate. Starts him off with a breaking ball on the first pitch.
3 Indians on the left side. 0-2. Breaking pitch hit into left field, base hit. Even with the shift on, Encarnacion found a way to poke one through.
Yeah, another 2-strike hit, Ronnie.
The first 2 sliders he threw were perfect against Encarnacion. The third one hung in the middle of the plate.
It's almost one that just didn't break or backed up a little bit. Stayed on the inside corner.
If you're Kluber, you got to be happy that that's only a single.
It is the 4th Toronto hit. Kluber allowed 3 against Boston in Game 2. He struck out Bautista his first time. Joey Bats up there with a man on and 2 down in the top of the 3rd. Inside.
Kluber definitely has had to have a game plan coming in that against these powerful hitters, he's going to have to go inside at least once every at bat.
Missed again, 2-0. Kluber has faced Toronto a couple of times this year. He started that 17-1 game and was only around for 3 1/3. 3 balls and no strikes.
I said before, he pitched 10 innings against the Blue Jays this summer. 208 pitches it took him to get through those 10 innings.
Encarnacion with a lead at first. Four-pitch walk, first and second, and for the 3rd straight inning. 2 base runners for Toronto.
Kluber already up to 50 pitches so far.
So Ronnie, I got a question for you. Sometimes you see with 3-0, the catcher will remind the pitcher, hey, you might be swinging on 3-0. So what's that mean? That just be really careful and don't throw it over the plate?
Well, you're never really trying to throw it over the plate, but sometimes you have a hitter up there, you don't mind throwing it right down the middle, 3-0. But a guy like Bautista, you're still trying to hit a corner.
Here's Russell Martin. He came to the plate in the first with 2 on and hit a squibber to first for the last out of the inning. Takes a strike, 0-1.
Martin's not hitting a lot in this postseason. He hasn't hit a lot in his career in the postseason. But he's hit 4 home runs with 4 different teams, or home runs with 4 different teams.
His 2 hits against Kluber have both been home runs in his career. And that was well out in front of the plate, and Perez took it in the chest.
Well, we saw this in the series against the Red Sox. Roberto Perez is just money behind the plate. Perfect form.
Encarnacion is the runner at second. He singled. Jose Bautista drew a walk. One from Kluber. Fouled back, all in 2 strikes. Well, Russell Martin, defensively, that's what gets his blood pumping. Loves the challenge of throwing out runners. And as he made a habit of playing October baseball, 9 out of 11 seasons.
Luis Rivera is trying to get Edwin's attention at second base to remind him 2 outs, 2 strikes. You're going on the swing.
The 1-2. He struck him out. The Blue Jays threaten again, and again come up empty. 2.5 in the book. Time to take a look at tonight's playmakers, presented by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. That's in the bottom half of the order for Cleveland, getting it done in the ALDS.
Well, you know, a lot of times in these games in the postseason, it's the guys that you don't expect to get the job done who do. Tyler Naquin's hit huge against Clay Buchholz in that game. Have to remember Coco Crisp laid down that good bunt to move the runners along.
Here is Naquin. There is Crisp, who hit the home run. Here's Naquin, who had struck out 3 times in his postseason baptism, and then delivered that 2-run single.
You know, the Cleveland Indians starting rotation, and rightfully so, was talked about all year long. They've lost a couple of those starters, Carlos Carrasco, Danny Salazar. There's Trevor Bauer, one of the starters, with Terry Francona. But no one really talks about the Toronto Blue Jays staff and their versatility. And they've been great down the stretch. Last 21 games, including the postseason, ERA under 2, 1.99.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's almost like the hitters are trying to sit on a changeup, and it's not coming, Cal.
No, I was just thinking the same thing. And he is continuing to throw the fastball. He threw a changeup in the dirt. Now, if you need your changeup and you haven't, it's a field pitch. Are you going to have it when you need it if you haven't thrown it?
You know, the one thing about Estrada, Cal, is that he doesn't count on the changeup having to be on the corners. He wants the speed differential to fool the hitter. You might see one here.
One down here in the 3rd. Moments ago, Sam Ryan speaking with Blue Jays manager John Gibbons.
John, you're getting runners aboard, doing so with 2 strikes. What do you like about the at-bats?
Well, you know what? We got a pretty good approach. We got some hitters. You know, we're a power hitting team, but we have some very good discipline too. And you know, Kluber's one of the better in the game. You know, when he gets into trouble, he's always got that great breaking ball in his back pocket.
Marco comes into this start on 7 days rest. What are you seeing from him?
I think he looks good. You know, I mean, if anything, that's what's given him trouble a little bit in the past. But he looks like he's on tonight as well. This should. You figure it's going to be a low-scoring game because both guys are pitching really well.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, yeah.
And you know what we're seeing, Ron, too? We're seeing 2 pitchers.
Yeah.
We're seeing guys who think their way around out there and use their arsenal. Kluber's been a little more hittable than we saw him in the Boston game, but still has kept Toronto off the board. And Marco Estrada just recorded his first strikeout.
That's the great part of the game, and that's why it's called pitching and not throwing, is that at some point you can have a guy who throws 88 as the highest, 89, be just as effective as a guy who throws 93 or 94.
2-0 is fouled back.
If I was Roberto Perez, I'd stay on the fastball right here. Through a changeup early in the count, back it down in the dirt. I'd sneak a little up on the home plate and try to take the outside corner away and sit dead red. See what they're going to do. Fastball away.
Estrada's record this year was only 99, but he had 5 games this year that he started where he only gave up 1 earned run and had 5 no decisions in those games. His record could have been much better.
Once upon a time, he was with the Nationals. They drafted him in 2005, but he was waived and the Brewers claimed it. That's going to miss. It's a Long Beach State product who says that there's a regret he has in his career. It was riding a motorcycle in 2006 just before spring training and breaking his collarbone. In the air to center field, but Pilar has plenty of room for out number 2.
So 2 times Estrada has got to the 3-2 count on the first 2 hitters. Both fastballs, a strikeout to Naquin and a fly ball to center field from Perez.
I mean, just doesn't seem like he has a feel for the changeup yet, and he hasn't had to use it. He's thrown a couple of them in the dirt, and when he needed a strike, he's gone to the fastball.
Here's Santana, and again the Blue Jays shift. 3 fielders on the right side, and a little pop-up over there where Donaldson is waiting. First time up, he laid down a bunt. That one a harmless pop to third. We head to the 4th. Don't miss the Blue Jays and the Indians. Game 2 of the ALCS tomorrow, 4 o'clock here on TBS. Pre-game starts at 3:30. It's presented by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. Of course, the postseason show follows it. Right now, game 1. Who's going to break through here? We're going to the top half of the 4th, scoreless. Corey Kluber's going to a well he doesn't want to revisit too often. He's allowed 2 runners in each of the first 3 innings. But Toronto has nothing to show for it as Tulowitzki takes a strike 0-1. Tulowitzki, Saunders, and Pilar here in the 4th. And quickly Kluber, the 2014 Cy Young Award winner, ahead 0-2. Just got a piece.
Getting ahead has not been the issue for Kluber. Putting them away has. You know, we gave all these amazing numbers. Here's the ranks for Kluber this since 2014. First in strikeouts, 741. Cy Young year, he struck out 269.
Tulowitzki bounced out to short his first time. He takes low and away.
That's the cutter with the shorter little breaking ball. He used that a couple of times on Troy this at bat. And also brought the fastball back to the outside corner. Here's the bigger breaking ball, slurve.
Fooled him, 1 down. Moments ago, Sam Ryan with Indians manager Terry Francona.
Terry, Corey's working himself out of jams in 3 straight innings. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, there's been some traffic, but I mean, he's throwing a lot of strikes. They've gotten their hits, you know, 0-2, 0-2, 1-2, and 2-2. So he's really got good stuff going. He just made some pitches he left over the plate when he's been ahead of the count, but then he's had the ability, as you've seen, to pitch out of it.
We see the ability. We also saw that fielding play by him. Any issues with the quad are you seeing?
Oh, he's actually in a really good spot. And you can see, I mean, by the way he got off the mound, by the way he's pitching, he feels pretty good physically.
Thanks so much, Terry.
Sam.
Thanks to Sam and to Tito. No balls, 1 strike. And Saunders waits on Kluber. No balls and 2 strikes. First thing Terry Francona had to do when he got to the ballpark today was, well, he had to talk to us and he had to talk to the rest of the media separately. And the first question, obviously, about Trevor Bauer. And if you're just joining us, foul away. The game 2 starter, Trevor Bauer, has now been moved to game 3 for Cleveland because he sliced the pinky on his pitching hand while doing some maintenance on the
drone maintenance
on the drone. So he'll pitch game 3 instead of game 2. Not to drone on about that story, but here comes the pitch. Well hit to left. Saunders' reputation as a good 2-strike hitter. He's done it twice in this game, and on this one just took that into left field for a base hit.
Cali got ahead of him with fastballs and again hurt by the breaking ball.
It was a really good piece of hitting. Tried to bring the backdoor breaking ball in to the outside corner, and he just stayed on it. You got to wait a long time to hit that breaking ball the opposite way.
All 5 hits now with 2 strikes against Kluber.
And here's the number 8 hitter, Kevin Pilar. He drew a walk his first time. Kluber has walked 2. There's a strike.
You know, it's really good observations from Francona. Just talking about you know, making some mistakes with 2 strikes, but really his intuition, his view of you know, his players psychologically or even physically. He has a real good handle on each one of his players.
This down low. All in a strike.
Luis Rivera just gave a lot of signs People are at home plate, and he was going really fast. Many times when you go that fast, nothing's on.
A flurry of activity. And a ball. Oh, what a stop by Kipnis in the throw. He got him. Kipnis going far to his left.
You're talking about really far to his left. Many steps and a dive all the way out, but this is a great part of the play. He gets up really quickly and turns around and fires a dart to first base. First time around, looked like he got him. That's awful close.
You know, Cal, we spend a lot of time talking about how outfielders take a path to a fly ball to make a great catch. It's the same with infielders on ground balls sometimes. He had to take the right path to get to that ball in the right time to make that play.
Yeah, I would argue that the angles are much more important on the infield. They're important on the outfield, but you have a little time to kind of make up and readjust. On the infield, you have a split second, the ball's hit hard. The right angle to a ball gives you a chance to make that play.
Putting a star in the book next to that 4-3. 2 out now and a runner at second. Saunders for Devin Travis, the 9-hitter.
The 3-hopper. Wow. Great range, great dive, but even better stand up and throw.
With something on it. A ball and a strike to Travis, who grounded into an inning-ending double play in the second.
Wasn't for that play by Kipnis, Kluber would add 2 more runners on again.
As it is, Toronto has had a runner in scoring position in every inning. Haven't cashed in. Broke his bat. Lazy fly ball to center. We head to the bottom of the 4th in Cleveland. Game 1, ALCS. Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by Amazon Web Services. How about this play by Jason Kipnis? Covering some ground, making the play with a strong throw to first.
33.6 feet, is that right?
Did you have it 0.7? Here's Kipnis, who made that great play. Takes inside, 1-0.
Well, Estrada's innings compared to Kluber have been a walk in the park so far. But second time through the order, see if we'll see more changeups and curveballs.
There it is. Had him way out in front, hit the ball right on the end of the bat, which many of the bats are cupped and they break that way. You can see it right there in his hand. Way out in the front, splinters the bat right from the end.
Well, Kipnis has a new stick.
You know, the cup takes a little weight out of the bat, makes it a little bit more balanced.
Estrada to the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Kipnis grounded into a double play his first time after Santana had led off the bottom of the first with a surprise bunt up toward third, while Toronto had shifted 3 infielders to the right side.
But Estrada really makes the hitters seem like they're a yo-yo. They're in between, swinging at that slow pitch at 77 miles an hour or behind on the 88-mile-an-hour fastball.
So true.
He struck him out, 1 down. Well, Cal, tell me, did you have a preference? Or, you know, if you were going to go up against a hard thrower and you knew you were going to get predominantly fastballs but big-time heat, or you got a guy like this who's keeping you off balance?
Well, I liked the predictability of a changeup, even though Marco hasn't been that predictable tonight. But you knew before the time's up that you were going to get a couple of changeups to hit. And especially with 2 strikes, it's a strikeout pitch for him. You really should wait as long as you can and maybe fight the fastball off and really force yourself to wait late, because if he does hang the changeup, it's a good pitch to hit. But the problem is being able to wait. If you are thinking about both, you are in between. You're late on the fastball and too early on the changeup.
He throws it so often, Cal. Would you ever go to the plate and just say, I'm just going to sit on that, I'm just going to wait for that changeup, I know it's coming?
Absolutely. So you go look for the changeup, then try to take the fastballs until you get the 2 strikes. But he's reading what you're doing as well. So he sees you take the first one, take the second one, he's going, okay, you're obviously looking for a changeup. And tonight he spotted the fastball really well. And he's really just pitching with 2 pitches. We haven't seen a curveball, I don't think, yet. And mostly fastballs until the second time around. Now you're starting to see a feel for his changeup.
Two and two.
Well, if he's going to strike you out, 51% of his strikeouts come on that good changeup. As good as any in baseball.
They call it that Bugs Bunny change, because you want to swing 10 times at it before it gets there. Well hit. Past Travis and into right field. Lindor is aboard here in the 4th.
I think he tried to outsmart himself. He could have gone back to the changeup, tried to sneak the fastball by him, and he blasted it up the middle.
Sometimes, Cal, it's hard to try to outthink a young player because they're just up there reacting, using that great God-given talent they have.
Yeah, most of the time a young player is really susceptible to the changeup. They haven't learned to wait with 2 strikes.
One ball and no strikes. One of the rallying cries for this Cleveland team. Not only believe land, as you see on the shoes of Lindor, but party at Napoli's. And he's at the plate here in the bottom of the 4th.
I thought Napoli's approach was really what I'm talking about. He hit the fastball down the first baseline the first time up. Had a pretty strong swing with it, took his body out, but he was definitely protecting against the changeup.
Way up in front.
Estrada was asked about the running game of the Indians and their speed. He says, listen, I just try to get rid of the ball as quick as I can to home plate, so I have complete confidence in Russell Martin's arm.
Lindor had 19 out of 24 in the regular season. Fly ball left center field. Not going to carry. Carrera makes the play. 2 down. Of course, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers celebrated an NBA championship, and the trophy's been making the rounds lately. And there's a photo op with the Indians, who hope to make it to the World Series and end a drought that's been since 1948, when they beat the Boston Braves to win it all. Cavs play right next door at the Q. Here's Jose Ramirez. The Indians have 3 hits, have not had a runner in scoring position yet. You know, if this were a football game, Ronnie, you'd say field position and time of possession have been all Toronto.
That's right.
They're the ones with the base runners in scoring position. They're the guys who have been threatening. But we're still scoreless in the bottom half of the 4th.
Lindor is timing him pretty well. That was a pretty good pitch to run on. Even though they haven't stolen a lot of bases in the postseason, they have that capability. He almost took off on the 1-1 pitch.
A ball and 2 strikes. Estrada to the plate. In the air to center field. Pilar backpedaling. And that does it for the Indians in the 4th. We head to the 5th. 0-0.
This 2016 ALCS telecast on TBS is brought to you by the well-equipped 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander and by T-Mobile One. Welcome to Unlimited Baseball.
I know what you're thinking. Hey, that looks like Terry Francona riding a scooter. That's what he does to every game. That's how he gets to the ballpark and back. Only lives a couple of blocks from Progressive Field. And that is the mode of transportation. We move ahead to the 5th. Lindor throws out Carrera, who is swinging at the first pitch. 1 down. Talk about a guy who could use a 1-2-3 inning, Ronnie.
Well, nice to see that. 1 pitch, 1 out there with Carrera. 70 pitches so far for Kluber. 115 is his high this season.
He made 32 starts, threw over 100 in 20 of those. And here's Donaldson. Singled in the first, popped to short in the third, and takes a strike 0-1.
It's always a dilemma when you're the second hitter and the first guy makes the out on the first pitch. You think, man, I really want to swing at that, but I better take it.
Tried to check his swing, but could not. And Jim Wolf down there at first. That'll be one of the easier ones he'll ever have to make.
Well, a big leg kick and loses control of the bat.
See if he can seal the deal with 2 strikes. Making pitch missed.
Josh will take a chance earlier in the count to look for one particular pitch, but with 2 strikes, he doesn't chase outside the strike zone too often. Back with a curveball.
Well, that's a good take. That ball started on, it was on the plate for 57 feet and then took a left turn and Donaldson laid off.
He's amazing to me. At 3-2, he'll take a ball just a little up, just a little outside.
Donaldson, of course, authoring one of the signature moments of this postseason for Toronto. And that was the Donaldson dash, as Brian Anderson, our buddy, described it, with the winning run in Game 3 against Texas, as he scored from second on the fielder's choice by Russell Martin. Error by Rougned Odor on the throw to first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Shallow center. Tyler Naquin squeezes it for the second out. Had a chance to talk to Josh Donaldson yesterday about that play too, and just how things developed and what your mindset is and what are you looking for. And he said he really didn't decide until he saw the ball hit the dirt and bounce up at first off Moreland that he committed to try to score the run. He said, you got to remember, he said, Moreland's a first baseman who throws 95. He used to be a pitcher. And there were just a lot of things on his mind. Look, are they going to go to third on me on this one, or are they going to try to throw behind me once Andrus went to second? So a lot of stuff, Cal, as you know, split-second decisions and gut instinct.
Well, I liked it where he used his own eyes. You don't rely on the third base coach. You come to third base, you're watching the play develop, and you see it immediately, and you can make a decision. If you're relying on the third base coach, there's a lag, and you're going to get thrown out at home. So use your own eyes is the best advice for any good base runner.
Ball and a strike to Encarnacion. He's 2 out of 2. Doubled in the first, singled in the third. 3 Indians on the left side.
That's a tough pitch right there. That fastball that comes back to the outside corner. To the hitter, it looks like it's outside by about 6 inches.
Tap back to the mound. There's that 1-2-3 inning for Corey Kluber. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 6, 7, 8 hitters are due here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. E-League is back starting October 21st. Catch the best in esports with E-League Season 2 on TBS every Friday. Lonnie Chisenhall leading it off. He singled his first time. Will this get down? It will. It falls in front of Bautista and right. Leadoff single. Only 4 hits allowed by Marco Estrada, 2 of them to Chisenhall.
That's one of those, Cal, about getting jammed. Got him that base hit.
Yeah, when you wait long enough, and he was maybe sitting on a changeup, fastball got in on him, but strong enough, and the right swing to produce a lazy line drive into right field.
Keep your eye on Coco Crisp here with a runner at first, nobody out. Scoreless game, bottom of the 5th.
This has to be a changeup. He hit that first pitch fastball.
Squares and puts it down up toward first. Devin Travis over there to cover. But sacrifice accomplished as Chisenhall moves into scoring position, and that's something the Indians haven't seen all night.
Great execution right here. With Edwin holding him on at first base, he's got to come a long way, can't charge early, and Coco bunts it to him, only play to first base.
It's twice now that Coco has sacrificed. First time it produced 2 runs, trying to produce 1 here.
Guys, I think Devin Travis is playing with some pain out there tonight.
Oh, yeah.
The way he came off the bag right then, came off a little gimpy, favoring the right leg. He's a tough kid. They call him the baby. Had a great year, but I think he's playing through some discomfort tonight here in game 1. Here's Tyler Naquin. Struck out his first time. Tap to the mound. 2 down. Chisenhall moves to 3rd.
Again, when Estrada gets into some trouble, you're going to see a steady diet of changeups.
And the training staff for the Blue Jays tending now to Devin Travis. I told you, it just didn't look right after that last play in which he covered first.
You know, John Gibbons was telling us today, he said one of the reasons he batted Travis in the 9th slot is that if he couldn't make it throughout the entire game and had to be pulled, then his replacement would replace him in that 9 hole.
Here's the play in which he covered first on the bunt. Watch how he comes off. And it wasn't moments later that the trainer came out. You saw the pat on the head from Encarnacion. You know that's killing Travis to come out. Sam.
Yeah, Travis dealing with that bone bruise on his knee. He got a cortisone shot in the knee last weekend and was hoping that would kick in. I was talking to him yesterday about it. He told me he was fine hitting in the batter's box, but really quick movement side to side. That's when it was bothering him, putting weight on it, walking up and down stairs, and he was really hoping that the cortisone shot would kick in.
Well, there's Ryan Goins, who was not on the ALDS roster, but he is on the ALCS roster for just this eventuality.
If Travis were to get hurt, which he has now, they needed that second infielder. They have Darwin Barney, but also Ryan Goins, who is an outstanding defensive player.
Now, Ronnie, a pitcher, if he comes in for an injury, he gets an unlimited amount of pitches to get ready, right?
He does, and it looked like Goins had about 5 tosses.
Yeah.
That was it. The one thing that I don't like here, Cal, is that Estrada's been standing out there a long time with 2 outs, and this is a huge out.
Perez had a pretty good at bat off on the first time. Hit the ball pretty well to center. Ball's not carrying at all tonight. A little breeze out to right center field, but it's not carrying at all. It's cold.
Strike called on the corner to Perez. Lonnie Chisenhall the runner at third. He singled to start the fifth. They bunted him over. He went to third on a grounder back to the mound. Perez didn't think much of that, but it's 0-2.
Boy, 2 change-ups. That one could have been up and outside.
That's a curveball.
Curveball.
Yeah.
Take that back.
Best scoring chance of the night for the Cleveland Indians. And Estrada says, take that. 5 innings down. No score. Time for records and milestones presented by Jim Beam. Drink smart. The drought's in effect. 4 teams remaining. Last World Series championship, 08 for the Cubbies, 48 for the Indians, 88 for the Dodgers, 93 for Toronto when they won back-to-back. Look at 93 compared to 08. That's not like a drought. That's more like, hey, it hasn't rained this afternoon. Jose Bautista leads it off and takes a strike from Corey Kluber. Top half of the 6th inning. We are zipping right along here in Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. Breaking pitch. He had a notion but held up. Cal, give us an idea down there. I mean, temperature-wise, comfortable or?
It's pretty comfortable for.
I mean, if you're playing,
for me right now, because there's a heater under the table.
It doesn't count.
But it's it's a little chilly, and most of the time that'll affect your ability to hold the ball. You know, your fingers start getting a little bit cold. A hand warmer in your pocket would help that out, but a feel for the baseball is what it would affect right now. But your body is pretty warm right now. It's not affecting anyone's movements.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Strata on the bench in between innings. See, he's got that softball in his hand, holding it out in front of him. You know how hitters put the donut on the bat to make the bat feel lighter? Well, you hold the softball to make that baseball seem smaller in your hand when you go out to the mound.
Something you used?
I never used it.
Kluber battles back and gets a called 3rd strike, 1 down.
Well, Cal, it seems to me like Laz Diaz's strike zone just opening up a little bit for both pitchers now with this breaking ball to Bautista.
Yeah, he was pretty tight before. That breaking ball looks like it starts on the outside corner and breaks off a little bit. That was a shorter variety than the ones that he normally has been throwing.
Jose's like, I can't hit that ball. I've heard that on the bench many times.
Russell Martin is 0 for 2. Takes a strike.
Kluber is the first pitcher against the Blue Jays in the postseason to get an out in the 6th inning.
Pours in another one, 0-2.
Yeah, he's really settled down and dotting that outside corner with his two-seamer, his fastball.
Just reached out, hit it to second. Easy play for Kipnis, 2 up and 2 down.
Well, he has so many weapons, but it's really that slider. That's the tough pitch. That's Carrera, the first batter of the game. Bautista with runners on. Martin with runners on. Tulowitzki, who came in red hot. This is a lineup here that we talked about the numbers. They just bludgeoned the Texas Rangers.
And Kluber, after struggling through the first 3 innings and living dangerously, has now set down the last 7 Blue Jays he's faced.
This Blue Jays lineup, though, it's like danger looming around every corner.
Tulowitzki's 0 for 2 and takes a strike. He's thrown 90 pitches. And he's ahead 0-2.
He's really mixed his pitches well with a number of the hitters, but especially with Tulowitzki. When Tulowitzki's thinking breaking ball, he gets a fastball. When he's thinking fastball, he gets a breaking ball. And now he's down 0-2 and just has to guard against all of them.
Foul ball in almost the exact same seat as the previous pitch.
One of the few fastballs up and in to a Blue Jays hitter.
So if you're trying to read what he's thinking right now, he's way late on the fastball. Would be right on time for a hanging breaking ball. So you got to be careful. If you do throw him a breaking ball, they chose to go fastball away.
I think that fastball's up. Good call by Diaz. Our strike zone has it as maybe catching the top of the strike zone.
Staying with the fastball.
Lined into right field. 2-out hit for Tulowitzki.
Really good at bat. He earned that. Fought off a couple tough pitches. Waited a long time, and the fastball got out over the plate. And he was able to line it into right field.
Well, we tend to always think about this Blue Jays team as a home run team, and they are. But now they've got 6 2-out hits against Kluber. That's just flat out good hitting.
And it brings Michael Saunders to the plate, who's 2 for 2. Showed you those Toronto fans a moment ago. They travel well. Took up some hotel rooms here in the city of Cleveland for this one. They really support him. You can see from here the tall, lone figure in the Cleveland bullpen up and warming. Andrew Miller. Tied him up. Ball and a strike.
Giving up 2 hits to Saunders on 2 breaking balls. See if he attacks him with more fastballs this at bat.
Yeah, fastball coming inside, the comeback variety. Threw him a cut fastball that broke in and tried to freeze him and bring the 2-seamer back to the inside corner.
Bautista struck out. Martin grounded out. Tulowitzki singled to right. Saunders pops it up behind the plate. And out of play. Into the screen back here that now has 2 baseballs suspended.
I don't know if you could see the ball coming back towards the field of play. But the ball naturally does that when it's popped up behind the catcher, but I think the breeze was a little bit blowing it back as well.
Saunders with his 2 hits. Now 5 for 10 off Kluber.
Struck him out to end the 6th inning for Toronto. We head to the bottom half. Scoreless.
This 2016 ALCS telecast on TBS is brought to you by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row, and by Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, game 1 of the American League Championship Series, and it's the top of the order. Carlos Santana for the Indians. Who's going to blink in this one? Scoreless in the bottom half of the 6th. Quickly Estrada ahead 0-2. Oh.
Gotta give the bat some love, whatever it takes.
Line drive right into the shift. And that's a big-time play by Goins, who came on as a defensive replacement for Devin Travis.
Cal, he just sold out there with his body.
Yeah, he goalied up on this one. It's sinking. He's like a catcher on that ball right there. Gets over in front of it, blocks it, keeps it in front, and makes a nice throw. Tough play.
Yeah, Santana hit that ball hard. Well, here's Jason Kipnis. Let's see if Tito's got some magic.
Remember in that first game against the Red Sox when the Cleveland Indians hit 3 home runs in 1 inning? Kipnis hit 1, and it was on a changeup from Rick Porcello.
And a changeup right here as well.
Three balls and no strikes to the Indians' second baseman.
Estrada's the kind of person you want to swing 3-0. Yeah. Might be the chance that you might get a fastball for sure. Just cover all the plate.
Taking all the way, 3-1.
So 3-1's a changeup count for him.
Kipnis draws a 1-out walk. May not have been exactly the idea Terry Francona had when he planted a kiss on the bat, but he'll take a base runner here in the 6th. And you look at the way these teams scored, and here we are in game 1, and they're locking horns, scoreless.
I don't think it's the time off that's caused the offense to cool. I think it's the pitchers making good pitches tonight.
Here's Lindor, who's 1 out of 2, hit the ball hard as last time.
If there was a pitch you'd be 100% sure there was going to be a changeup, it was that one. After the base hit on the fastball last time up.
A little thumb raise usually means throw over. That sign with the thumb, flipping the thumb by the catcher. Cal, when you and I started playing, that meant throw one up and into the hitter. It doesn't mean that anymore. It means throw over to first.
That 1-out walk to Kipnis, the first issued by Estrada, who's been brilliant tonight.
Now that's a good adjustment, because waiting for the changeup and then gets the fastball. You could tell he was late.
Team that led the American League in stolen bases, and only Napoli has one stolen in this postseason. That ball is hit well to right center field, and it's out of here. Francisco Lindor has broken the scoreless tie. That ever-present smile never broader than right now. Lindor makes it 2-0 Indians.
And I believe it was a changeup. We talked about making the adjustment, swinging late on the fastball. This is the changeup, 76 miles an hour down the plate, and he was all over it.
We were talking about Cal, the ball's not traveling, but travels when it's hit like that.
Yeah, he put a charge in that one.
1-1 to Napoli.
We thought it was the Blue Jays who were going to provide the early thunder. Instead, it's the diminutive shortstop of the Cleveland Indians.
With his second home run of this postseason. Joe Biagini up and throwing in the Toronto bullpen. They've gotten to Estrada here in the 6th. Payoff pitch to Napoli. Breaking ball, and he popped it up. Here's another look at Lindor.
Unbridled passion he plays with, doesn't he? Second homer of the postseason for Francisco.
Here's Jose Ramirez.
He had a nice swing on that, but it looked like his hand slipped off the bat halfway through the swing. Not Lindor, Ramirez.
Estrada jumps out ahead 0-2. Look out.
I thought you were talking to me. I was watching the screen then. But that's the kind of ball you can get hit on over here. And again, that's the read. They got to go fastball again away with that sort of swing. But they went changeup.
Well, he struck him out to end the inning, but not before the Cleveland Indians broke the scoreless tie, and they did it with the long ball. The 22-year-old got every bit of that one. Afternoon game tomorrow, game 2 of this series, coverage starting at 3:30 here on TBS. Monday, we'll head to the raucous Rogers Center for game 3 of this series, the American League Championship Series on TBS. Top half of the 7th inning. Kevin Pillar leads it off against Corey Kluber. Grounded to short. Lindor. Cheers still ringing in his ears. 1 down. Well, watch this. Maybe the guy who caught the home run from Lindor. Like he hit the lottery.
So which one caught it?
Boy, listen to the hand for Corey Kluber, who pitches into the 7th inning. Here he comes. Miller time in Cleveland. Look at this scene as the pitching change was made, and Corey Kluber's Indians teammates, everybody with a pat on the chest or a high five for a real gutty, grinded out effort.
I mean, it's one of those games that could have gotten out of control for him early. Had a lot of traffic on the bases, but kind of gutted himself through those first few innings and threw great the last couple.
I thought the strikeout of Batista in the first was a big out. Made some really good pitches to get out of that jam.
Darwin Barney will pinch hit for Ryan Goins. Goins came into the game when Devin Travis had to leave as that bone bruise on the right knee flared up again on him. Barney got a couple of starts in the ALDS against Texas when Travis was hurting.
Good swing there by Barney on the Miller pitch. We're talking about a 6'7" left-hander who throws 98 miles an hour with a wipeout slider. And can go a couple innings if you need to.
Never given up an earned run in his postseason career.
He's a little conveniently wild every once in a while too, which is not comfortable for the hitter. Melvin Upton Jr. on deck.
Tried to check. Strike 3. 2 down.
Three fastballs set up that slider.
Cal, the key for any pitcher is you want both your fastball and breaking ball to come out of the same arm slot. They do with Miller, and you can't tell in time whether it is that good fastball or the slider.
And I've noticed too, he has a good angle on his ball, and when he's getting the low strike, that makes the hitter chase the breaking ball in the dirt even more.
The right hand hitting Upton. For the left-handed hitting Ezekiel Carrera.
Upton's got some numbers against Miller, 5 for 12 with 3 home runs.
That is some numbers.
Corey Kluber, 6 1/3, in trouble in each of the first 3 innings. But Toronto could not push a run across. A ball and 2 strikes. Terry Francona had Andrew Miller in Boston. The guy he has here in Cleveland, one of the most dominant lefties in the game. And he just struck out Upton. Who gives Laz Diaz an earful. Blue Jays scored 22 runs in 3 games against Texas. They're being shut out here in Cleveland. Tonight's game summary is presented by Geico. Middle of the 7th inning. 2-0 game. Indians with a lead over the Blue Jays. Ernie Johnson, Ron Darling, Cal Ripken down on the field. This has been a terrific game right now. I mean, it's seen great pitching. Guys just deadlocked until one mistake by Estrada and Lindor made him pay.
Yeah, just to change up. This is where stars are born in October, and the 22-year-old Lindor showed what he can do. But it was the big walk by Kipnis before that, and of course the gutty performance by Kluber, who was just outstanding, despite having all that traffic early in the game.
First 3 innings, Toronto putting runners on, 2 in each of those innings, and then Kluber able to pitch around it, then settled into a little bit of a rhythm and went 6 1/3. Andrew Miller finishing up the 7th. You look out on that mound now for Toronto, and Marco Estrada still out there. And he'll face Lonnie Chisenhall, who has 2 of Cleveland's 5 hits.
Well, in his great start against the Texas Rangers, left-handed hitters were 1 for 12 against Marco Estrada. Tonight, the Tribe have 5 hits by their left-handed hitters.
Chisenhall right through the hole in the left. He's 3 out of 3. That last pitch to Melvin Upton, strike 3 called, and he had a beef, Cal.
Yeah, he got, I think Laz got fooled by the height of the pitch. It looked like it was going to be a strike. Called it too soon, but that ball's way out of the strike zone low.
Well, in the 5th inning, Chisenhall led off with a single. Coco Crisp bunted him over. Here in the 7th, Estrada to the plate, and well, he's going to go to first. Wanted to see if Crisp was going to give himself away.
You know, because I think Toronto believes Crisp is going to bunt, and he bunted earlier. If I was Terry Francona, I'd let Crisp swing. At least 1 strike.
Donaldson creeping in at 3rd. Crisp squares and takes a ball. 1-0.
You'd like to add on, but this would be a chance to take a chance. You're up 2-0. They're playing in. I know the hit and run is not as popular anymore, but I think this would be a perfect time for it.
Chisenhall, your runner at first. Crisp squares again and lays it down up the first base line. The tag by Encarnacion, and again sacrifice for Crisp. Runner in scoring position is Chisenhall.
Well, this is one of the great things of the game, isn't it? You acquire veterans late in the season. You don't know how they're going to help you. And Crisp now has laid down 3 sacrifice bunts and then a 2-run home run at Fenway Park.
Yeah, in the playoffs, in my opinion, it's all about the finer execution. Doing all the little things right. Coco is that kind of player.
There's the rookie Tyler Naquin. He's 0 for 2. Little tapper to the mound as last time. Moved a runner over to 3rd. And he takes a breaking pitch over. 0-1.
Marco seems to be able to get that curveball over anytime he wants.
Fooled him 0-2. You look at that action in the Toronto bullpen, it reminds you of that old kids cartoon show that used to be on it. It's Biagini and Cecil. There's Crisp doing whatever it takes. In the air left side and out of play.
Shows you how this postseason can break your heart. Estrada, if you looked at the game, Estrada had a much easier go of it than Kluber this entire game. And he made one bad pitch to Lindor. And he's behind.
No balls, 2 strikes. Chisenhall with a lead at second. And Naquin goes down swinging.
See the changeup grip. Cal, he throws that changeup so slow that the hitters end up swinging slower.
Yeah, it's a reaction at the plate. And when you've already burned and you're out in front, you try to slow the bat down, but it's just impossible to do it. You got to convince yourself to go later, to wait longer. As soon as you move and commit, you're done on the changeup.
Strikeout number 5 for Estrada. And here is Perez, who struck out his last time. In the air to center field. All kinds of room out there for Pilar, who squeezes it for the 3rd out. We have played 7 innings in game 1 of the ALCS. And the Cleveland Indians lead it 2-0. Top half of the 8th inning. 2-0 game, Indians. If they're going to break through and get on the board, they've got the guys up there who can do just that. Josh Donaldson swings and misses 0-1 as he faces Andrew Miller. Rajai Davis is the new left fielder for Cleveland. Michael Martinez into the game in center. Donaldson, Encarnacion, and Bautista against Andrew Miller. And quickly the left-hander out in front, 0-2. Donaldson is 1 for 3, singled in the first. Got as far as third, but was stranded there.
Going back with a fastball. Reach back for a little extra. I know he hit 95, but he's been pitching at 92, 93 so far. He's probably got 3 more miles an hour he can get to.
Into center field, leadoff single here in the 8th. Miller had struck out the first 2 hitters he faced, but Donaldson reaches. And that brings the tying run to the plate. Edwin Encarnacion.
That was a lazier slider there from Miller that stayed down and in. And Donaldson just continues to rake here in October.
Encarnacion in his last 6 at-bats against Miller, a couple of home runs and a double. He's 2 for 3 tonight. In the first, Encarnacion hit a ball in the gap. Looked like he hit a 4-iron, and it landed like a medicine ball. Runners were at second and third, but the Blue Jays could not take advantage. Had to skip out of the way. 2-0.
I gotta believe he's going to go back to a slider, even though it's 2-0.
It's that down and in area that Edwin has feasted on in the postseason. You're right, back to the slider.
And it's over for a strike, 2-1.
It was almost like Miller quick pitched him, because it didn't seem like Encarnacion was ready for that pitch.
Look out. The bat goes flying into the stands over the dugout.
Guy said he's fine, but it looks like he's bleeding from his eyebrow. Yeah, he is. Let's hope he's all right.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Steve Wright 3 called, and Encarnacion doesn't like it.
Now, you can't argue balls and strikes, but you think the home plate umpire give a manager a little more latitude in a postseason game, and he does to Gibbons. That's Melvin Upton Jr. with a ball out of the strike zone. And let's see the pitch sequence here to Edwin. A fastball away, fastball down and in, 2-0. Got a slider over. Another slider that he lost his bat. And then this pitch I thought was a good pitch. Better than the one to Upton.
Yeah, I was offended by the one to Upton, but that one's a good pitch.
There's Bautista. Now you saw Encarnacion's reaction on 2 of those called strikes in that at bat. Bautista has a couple of strikeouts and a walk here in game 1.
You know, part of this is the frustration for the Blue Jays. You know, they had their way with the Texas Rangers. They have not been able to produce tonight so far.
Missed outside. 2-1. 22 runs on 29 hits in that series against Texas. No runs on 7 hits here in game 1. Donaldson with a lead at first. Bautista waiting.
It's hard to convince yourself as a hitter when it counts 2-0 and 3-1 that you're going to get that breaking ball. But more times than not, you are.
One of the 2 hits that Bautista has off Miller, long ball.
Slider again.
Payoff pitch. Tapped foul. And we'll do it again. For the 3rd time tonight, Joey Bats strikes out. 2 down in the 8th.
Well, you see Miller on the side of that baseball with the slider. Cal, you got to respect the 98. That's what makes that slider so effective.
Yeah, especially when he's getting hopped down in the strike zone, the fastball, because that'll make you chase the ball in the dirt. But that's just a good late breaking ball. And I had to believe that Bautista was looking for it on that pitch and fouled it off and still couldn't hit it.
Miller has struck out 4 of the 5 hitters he's faced. Donaldson singled to lead off the inning. He's still there. Russell Martin is 0 for 3 in this game, 1 for 19 in the postseason. Blue Jays have had their chances, no doubt. But let Kluber wriggle off the hook. Check swing, he could not hold up. 1-2. This place is bonkers. Jim Wolf giving the safe sign down there at first, saying Martin did not go.
Good call. Good call. How about what the relievers have been asked to do in this postseason? We saw Miller and Allen have to throw 40 pitches in game 1 against Boston. Kenley Jansen with 51 last night.
Shaw and Allen in the bullpen. Shaw, that workhorse. Most games in the American League. Allen, the closer. Donaldson, the base runner.
So, Ronnie, why the 2 righties up right now?
I just think if something tragic happens here for Miller and Martin hits one out of the ballpark, then you might see Shaw instead of Allen.
Things are now officially beyond bonkers. Heading to the bottom of the 8th. T-Mobile One lets MLB fans always stay connected to the game they love. Show us how you're baseball's #1 fan by using #UnlimitedBaseball for a free MLB Shop gift code and other epic prizes. Cleveland, Ohio, Game 1. ALCS. Been a beauty. Well pitched, well played. Marco Estrada out there in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Toronto starter here in Game 1. And it's the top of the Indians' order.
Santana bunted against a shift. That was his only sacrifice, his only bunt base hit all season long. I love the job Estrada's done. Still back out there in the 8th inning.
I didn't know if that was going to register on the gun. Ball and a strike.
I think you always want about a 10-mile-an-hour, at least a 10-mile-an-hour difference between your fastball and your changeup. So if your fastball is coming down, you need to slow your changeup down. But that 10 miles an hour seems to be the magic point that you can't hit both.
2-2.
You have to commit to one of those speeds.
Estrada sailed through the first 4 innings. Ran into a little trouble in the 5th as the Indians had a runner at 3rd, but he got out of it. But in the 6th, a walk to Kipnis, 2-run homer by Lindor. Shallow center field. And Tulowitzki makes the play, 1 down. There's Lindor, who's moving into the on-deck circle, and there's Kipnis, who drew the 1-out walk from Estrada in the 6th, setting the stage for Lindor. That'll be easy. And quickly 2 down. StatCast is powered by Amazon Web Services, and it tracks the 2-run homer by Lindor. Pretty good catch out there, too.
So he's hit his fastball for a single and a changeup for a homer. Curveball first pitch.
Why not? No cutter.
I'd say break a ball again.
Breaking pitch, it never broke.
Nope.
Nothing gets a pitcher off his game plan than a guy taking it deep.
Sound like you have experience.
Oh, big time.
3-0.
Got to green light him right here. Ooh. A little bit outside.
Strike zone has definitely opened up here as the game's gone on.
Well, Estrada battles back to a full count. Tried to check his swing, but could not. Estrada sets him down in the 8th. We head to the 9th. 2-0.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Top half of the 9th inning, the Indians closer is on, Cody Allen.
Seen 67 games this year, 35 saves. With a 2-run lead, he was 12 for 13 this year.
Swinging at the first pitch is Tulowitzki. Near the line and out of play.
Well, Cody Allen, they love basketball in this town. Gets the greatest bounce pass every day from Andrew Miller, doesn't he?
How good was Andrew Miller on this night? It continues. And in this postseason now, 5 2/3 innings. Hasn't allowed a run. Struck out 12, walked 2. Struck out 5 of the 6 he faced tonight, just giving up the single to Donaldson in the 8th. Tulowitzki, Saunders, and Pilar here in the 9th. Breaking pitch over. He's got one of the best you'll see, too.
Got the same speed as Kluber's wipeout breaking ball. That had a real sharp downward break to it.
Cleveland pitching has struck out 11 tonight. Tell you what, you face a team like Boston and all their lofty offensive numbers, and you sweep them, and then you got to face this Toronto team. Really potent. And they're shutting them out through 8. Tapped right back to the 9. Stay tuned after the game for the postseason show on TBS, presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. The fellas, Casey Stern, Pedro Martinez, Gary Sheffield, Jimmy Rollins. As if on cue. Hey, they're reading the promo. Everybody get to the desk.
Come on, Chico, get him in the seats. Let's go.
Michael Saunders, 2 for 3. Toronto just needing a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, Toronto was shut out in Game 1 of the ALCS against Kansas City last year. In danger of having that happen again.
Ooh, wow, spun his cap. 2-0. $37,000 seats not being used. 2 balls and a strike.
That's the high end of the strike zone and comes back and hits the bottom of the strike zone.
The 2-2. Steer right 3 called. 2 down.
He throws one that almost hits him up and in, and then throws 3 perfect strikes. This one on the inside corner and on the knees.
Only 2 Toronto starters have not struck out tonight. Donaldson is one, Pilar is the other. He represents Toronto's last hope here in Game 1. That's the breakdown on the dozen strikeouts of Toronto hitters. On the ground to Lindor. The guy who hit the dinger throws him out. And the Cleveland Indians, still unbeaten in October, have taken Game 1 over Toronto. Iron Man, how do you assess what you just saw out of Cleveland tonight?
Well, I'm just remembering myself how loud this place was when I played here. It's a little intimidating. They play really well at home. They get energy from home. And when is Miller time? Anytime they get a lead.
Corey Kluber tonight, now 13 1/3 innings pitched in the postseason. No runs here in 2016. And Terry Francona's teams, when they win Game 1, are 7-1 in those series.
And for the first time this season, Toronto gets a complete game out of a starting pitcher. And it comes in a 2-0 loss. Let's go down to Sam Ryan.
Thanks a lot, Ernie. Francisco, we saw the emotion as you're rounding the bases. 6th inning, the changeup, your 2nd home run of the postseason. What was your approach?
I was just trying to get a good pitch and try to hit it back up the middle. And whatever happened, it happened. I was thinking the thing that Michael Brantley always tells me, down through the ball. And Santana had a little talk to me. He's like, stay inside and go back up the middle. And that's what I was trying to do. I thank the Lord, man, he went out.
The 2-run home run, you saw Corey on the mound tonight playing behind him. Struggled the first 3, had to work out of trouble. The 6-4-3 double play to end the 2nd. You started that. Can you describe that?
Corey, once again, unreal. The guy, he never shows emotion. He, as you said, he wasn't on the first couple of innings, but he was lights out after that. You know, never show emotion, gave us the confidence that we were still in it, and you know, hats up to Estrada. Had a good game. Kluber, unreal. The team effort that we had today is unreal. I'm proud of the guys.
And when Terry goes to the bullpen, Andrew comes out. He strikes out 5 of the 6 he faces. Fell behind on Edwin and Encarnacion. What's it like playing behind Miller?
Again, unreal. Our pitching staff is really, really good. I'm glad I'm on the other side. I'm not facing them. And Miller, whenever he comes in, you know he's going to come in and do his job. You know, he's such a performer. He goes out there, works hard day in and day out, and goes out there and performs for us, and keep us in the game every single time he pitches for us.
Francisco, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sammy. 2-0. Final score in game 1. Back to put the finishing touches on this one right after this.